Hello there guys, welcome back to Eunice Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. It is a double upload day, it's late, but don't worry, it is a double upload day. The schedule for today is actually quite an interesting one. So this video that you're watching right now is more of a news video. We're going to get into some of the little bits and pieces that has happened today. I don't think we're going to hear about much more that's going on elsewhere or something crazy in relation to Chelsea, because we are getting ready for the weekend. We're getting ready for Chelsea Aston Villa on Sunday. So later on, you're going to get video number 2, which isn't too far away from now actually, but it's going to be what Chelsea need to do to start winning games, right? Because as much as we can dwell on the problem, which is evident, right? We, I think, collectively need to actually try and focus on what solution we have in our heads that we can propose for Chelsea to start winning football matches. What we notice and what we see. So I'm going to give you a few of my points that I think will help Chelsea get themselves across the line in this time of uncertainty. But that's later on. So make sure you guys are there for that. And do not forget, tomorrow, the preview for Chelsea versus Aston Villa, which is also why I'm doing the video of later on, because I feel like I don't want to cram everything into one video and then just, be here for 45 minutes in a match preview. I don't want to do that. So tomorrow, you'll be getting the match preview, Chelsea Aston Villa, as we go into the proper detail in relation to the match itself. Make sure you are here for that. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified of just that. And don't forget to smash the like button if you do enjoy this video. Check out the socials. They are in the description and on screen. So let's start off with what is going on today, what has happened, and yeah, we're going to get a little bit of critique, a little bit of analysis, and then, like I said, later on we're going to provide some solutions. So let's start off with, today is Thiago Silva's birthday. So Thiago Silva, happy birthday. Absolute legend as far as I'm concerned. He's not a club legend to the extent of some of the other names that we have as club legends, but he's definitely up there in some sort of a capacity, even if it's a short-term club legend, because he's not been with us for too long, but he definitely holds himself as a legend in some sort of a capacity. So it's his birthday today. He turns 39. He plays like he's 30. With all due respect, fair play to Thiago Silva. Happy birthday to him. But Matt Law said something about Thiago Silva, and I feel like we've got to get into the detail, because I'm seeing two sides to this story here, and we're going to clarify both. So without further ado, here's the latest on, well, Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva has not been shy to tell his managers how he feels the team should be set up and play, particularly as he eyes a transition into coaching when he finally hangs up his boots. He is demanding at the training ground and on the pitch, but his high standards can also, sources claim, cross the line into sulking when he does not feel they are being met. It's quite unbelievable, I have to say. Matt Law saying this. Now, I want to put this out there in relation to Matt Law. We know that, well, there's one side of this. Matt Law with Chelsea news, when it comes to what's going on inside of Chelsea, he's quite reliable. As much as sometimes we don't like what we hear from Matt Law, but he is quite reliable. Now, when it comes from things that are Chelsea related outside of the football club, an example, John Terry. John Terry's not at Chelsea. Where the story that was coming out about him was something to do with his role at Chelsea. That wasn't the case. It was to do with John Terry himself, his own charity, his own work, and Matt Law got that completely wrong. Or whether he done that unintentionally or intentionally, we don't know. But John Terry came out and responded to that and clarified the situation. So when it comes to things outside of the football club, Matt Law doesn't exactly have the best reputation. When it comes to things happening within the club, we've seen how many times he gets it bang on. So you have to put that into context. He's come out and said that Thiago Silva is quite demanding within the club. He is particularly wanting to get into coaching, and for that reason isn't shy to tell managers what he feels, how the team should be set up, any tactics, any strategy, all of that. He definitely puts his 2 cents across. It's actually quite crazy how apparently that can come across as sulking. Crazy. Now, when I hear that, I immediately have to, if this is the case, I have to stress, if this is the case, look at the players that think that he is sulking, and I look at them and go, you don't belong at Chelsea Football Club. You ain't got it up here to play for Chelsea Football Club. You don't. And unfortunately, this seems to be a trend of the modern generation. There's a lot of soft lads. A lot of lads that are soft. A lot of lads that can't take it. They just can't. They just can't. You know, and when it gets to a certain threshold, when they start to feel pain, they go, oh, I don't want to do it. It hurts. It's meant to hurt. Do people understand this? It's meant to hurt. That's how you grow. That's how you get better. When you plow through moments that are painful and you come out the other end and you reflect and go, wow, I did that, you grow. When you feel pain and you go, ow, ow, no, I don't want to, you stagnate. You stay exactly where you are. Or you regress. Because you can go backwards. Trust me, you can. You can hit a peak and then start to decline. You can. That depends on you. If players are at this level and they look at a Thiago Silva, who is an example, who has won in his career, do you remember when John Terry was in that press conference and he quoted Robbie Savage? Robbie Savage apparently critiqued John Terry and he said, you know, I take criticism and I take it from those that have done a lot in the game. You know, I listen and I take it on board and I try to better myself. But I don't take it from people that haven't done anything in the game. Thiago Silva is someone that's done something in the game. Thiago Silva has won it all. Let's be honest. Thiago Silva is the example of what we have in JT and Lamps and Didier and all that, but away from Chelsea. And then he came to Chelsea and won a Champions League. Do you know what I mean? So, and the Club World Cup and all that, of course. But in terms of league titles, cups and accomplishment, he's done that away from Chelsea in his younger years, let alone coming to Chelsea and doing what he did. The man is a certified winner. So if there's young lads in that team and in that squad that are looking at a Thiago Silva, and even in the moments where he's not happy or he's deemed as sulking, and players are looking at him and going, oh, he's sulking again. But you don't belong here. If you lot are not looking at a Thiago Silva and absorbing every single thing like a sponge that comes out of this guy, you don't have the right mentality. Simple as that. Simple as that. If I'm a young player at Chelsea and I'm looking at Thiago Silva and he's gone off on one, I'm listening. I am listening and I'm reflecting and I'm going, what is he saying? What should I do? What should I not do? Because he's an example. He's been there and done it and he understands what's required to win. This is what we're lacking in this Chelsea team at the moment. This is why now, the last couple of weeks, I've turned to reflecting more on the lack of experience in this side. When you got a player like Thiago Silva, who is the epitome of experience that we have and of very few that we have in this Chelsea squad right now, that's even more reason to listen to him. Because he's all you got and he hasn't got long left. So you better take what you take right now. Because in about 5 minutes, he could be out the door. He's 39 today. That's not 29, as Pochettino said in training, as a joke. He said, he turns 29 today and gave him a pat on the back because he plays like he's 29. But he's 39. Let's be honest, he ain't got long left. And I think he still wants to have one more stint, maybe back at home in Brazil, maybe back at Fluminense. So we have to be honest. It's probably his last season, if we're going to be real. So absorb everything like a sponge. Take it all in and learn. Because if not, who else are you going to learn from? So I want to clarify that and stress that. It's crazy if this is true and there are players in our squad that's looking at Thiago Silva and thinking he's sulking. Pff, bloody hell, bloody hell, bloody hell, bloody hell, man. Come on. Come on. Mentality. Standards. Where are they? Do you know what I mean? Now, This one shocked even me. What I'm about to show you shocked even me. I almost don't want to believe this is true. I'm half and half on this one. I'm contemplating and thinking, nah, maybe this is false. Maybe what I'm about to read is false. It can't be. Surely. What is it? Here it is. Thiago Silva is meant to be the man setting an example to his much younger teammates. But it was the veteran who head coach Mauricio Pochettino had to tell to calm down during the draw with Bournemouth. I can't be. Surely not. I refuse. I refuse to believe this is true. Actually, Tell a lie. I want to refuse that this is true. I want to not believe that this is true. This better not be true. Let me be honest. This better not be true. Because for the very same reasons that I just clarified to you, if we're even having Poch, it can't be. Surely not. But you know what? You know what? I'm going to put 2 and 2 together in the next piece that I'm going to explain on this video because it links. It links. And now I'm looking at Poch. It's like I said before we drew to Bournemouth. What did I say? Poch, I'm looking at you now. Because there's things that are starting to add up and not in a very good way. 2 and 2 is equaling 4, but it's not the 4 that I was looking for. Do you know what I mean? If Poch is looking at Thiago Silva, who, if there are players looking at Thiago Silva and going, he's sulking, and Thiago Silva is kicking off on one because of the way that we're playing, or what he sees in training, or mistakes that are being made, and then Pochettino, instead of supporting a Silva, turns to Silva and goes, you got to calm down, then we ain't got a chance. We ain't got a chance. Because as far as I'm concerned, from what I'm hearing, Thiago Silva is absolutely justified to react in the way that he's reacting, if that is the actual case. Absolutely justified. And I understand Pochettino is someone who has had very good relationships with younger players. And if this is true, maybe he wants to go, you know what, take it a little easy on them. They'll grow and they'll develop. And, you know, maybe he's got his own way of man management in order to get the young lads on his side. But this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. Like I said, Thiago Silva is an absolute example that we should be looking at and the player should be striving to become. Maybe not in terms of ability, because young players are young players and they're going to take time in terms of their ability, I understand that. But in terms of what's up here and the way to command themselves and the way to act and behave and play, overall, at Chelsea, Thiago is an example. Simple. So, this is what I'm saying. I almost do not want to believe that this is true. Surely Pochettino's not telling Silva, calm down. Surely not. Surely not. But this is where it begins to link. Because if you remember, when was it at the beginning of the season? Was it just after Liverpool? Or was it around that time? When in the press conference there was a journalist that referenced a player to Pochettino and said there was a player within your squad that said that you're quite that he sees Pochettino more like a friend rather than a coach. Do you remember when I spoke about that? And then as a joke, Pochettino in that press conference went, "What? Who? Tell me who?" Because I don't like that, right? Something along those lines. You know, trying to make it look like, nah, I've got the authority here. Do you know what I mean? You can be too nice with your players, and sometimes that's not a good thing. That can, if you cross a line between authority and nice, if you go over that line into too nice, that can backfire on you. And I'm starting to get that vibe from Poch. I'm starting to get that he's too friendly with his team, he's too friendly with his players because they're young. They're young. And then if Thiago Silva ends up, you know, kicking off in the way that he does, maybe he does turn to him and go, calm down. Which is wrong. I'm sorry, no. You got to set the example to these young lads. You got to show them the reality. And the reality is, it's not always nice. It's not always nice. If you want to be the best, trust me, it hurts. It's not exactly sunshine and rainbows all the way to the top. Nah, there's pain and there's blood and there's sweat and there's tears and there's suffering and there's not being where you want to be at times, and there's moments where you're away from the people that you want to be around, and there's all sorts of negative moments, but in the grand scheme of things, it makes you stronger, it makes you hungrier, it makes you better, it makes you faster, it makes you bigger, it makes you all of those things in order to reach where you want to reach. That's life. So I don't. See, that's how you say that's life, Graham Potter. But I'm getting the vibe like we're trying to wrap a lot of these young lads in cotton wool, and we're trying to, you know, go slow. It's okay, don't worry. Like, this is Chelsea, nah. Sometimes you got to show them the reality, and that's just the way that I see it. But this is what I'm saying. I hope this isn't the case with Thiago Silva, and we are actually taking everything in that we need to take in terms of the experience that he offers and how to move forward. So happy birthday to Thiago Silva, that's one. And fingers crossed, what I've just read isn't actually true. That's all I'm going to say. Now, there's this that I want to speak about, because in the same way like Thiago Silva, funnily enough, even the fan base online, I'm only saying online because I genuinely believe the match-going fans look at Thiago Silva like an absolute legend. 100%. I haven't come across one match-going fan that looks at Thiago Silva and has something bad to say. Not one. Every single match-going fan that I've come across, and even them lot online, all say only great things about Thiago Silva, and I completely agree. I think he's absolute class. Creme de la creme, okay? Even though he's 39. Creme de la creme. But, online, there were even fans going at Thiago Silva after that Matt Law article dropped. Like, are you crazy? Are you guys alright? Having a go at Thiago Silva. Why? Do you know what I mean? Now, look, this is the reality. You're not going to get everyone on the same page. You're going to come across some people that think, a complete 180 to how you see things. That's life. That's how it is. So I'm not going to go in on them. They've got their own opinions. They see things differently. Good luck to you. But I think it's ludicrous to be able to put any sort of criticism on Thiago Silva. Simple. In terms of performances now, yes, maybe he's dropped a little bit, but he's 39. What do you expect? However, he always leads by example. So, that's one. There is the flip side, though. Now, what's the flip side? Let's get into it. This is the flip side. Check this out. Chelsea put out this video. From Chelsea Academy to Chelsea Captain. Conor Gallagher explains the feeling of skippering his boyhood club. This was a reflection after Conor Gallagher did captain the side against Bournemouth in that 0-0 draw. And on top of that, the game against Wimbledon that we won 2-1. I almost forgot the scoreline. First and foremost, I have to say, as a person, on a human level, yeah, I'm actually genuinely happy for Conor Gallagher. On a human level, because I can only imagine growing up at the academy, thinking I want to get to the first team and all that, and then you get given the armband. He's not going to say no. For him, it's a big deal, I'm sure. So on that level, definitely huge congratulations, and it's incredible, right? But the way that Chelsea have marketed this or put this out, it screams that it's just the club trying to prop up one of our own to the fans, Oh, look what we did with Gallagher. He's one of our own. Look, we gave him the armband. Do you know what I mean? And I know that was Poch's decision, which he explained in the press conference earlier on today as to why he done that. But I feel like the club are just trying to push that out just to maybe keep the fans on side a little bit. One of our own got the armband. Yeah, we a little moment to celebrate in the midst of all these poor results. But what I do want to say is I feel like there are fans making the same mistake with Conor now like they made with Mason and they made with others, all bar Reece James. Reece James, I feel like, has set the example. The only thing that's going against him is his injuries. But in terms of Gallagher getting the armband, we got to be real with ourselves. Does Conor Gallagher warrant the armband? In terms of a temporary basis, like you've been given against Bournemouth and against Wimbledon, if that's it, and he's just been given a taste of what it's like, there could be a bit of strategy there. I can agree. There could be a bit of long-term thinking in terms of the motivation and getting him to maybe want to go for the armband permanently, although that's sitting with Reece James at the moment. But maybe that could be a way of Pochettino to get Conor Gallagher even more fired up. I get it. But in terms of making a deal, a big deal, of him getting the armband for a game, even Pochettino said it in the press conference that it shouldn't really be made a big deal. Which I agree with. It shouldn't. Because if we're talking logically, in order to get the armband is a big deal, man. In order to get the armband, you really need to have shown what you are truly, truly about and what you do to warrant the armband, to be the captain. The traits that it takes, the leadership, the example, being one of the best players on the team. You have to be. I don't feel like Conor's been there yet. In terms of what he wants to give, absolutely. But that's all, as far as I'm concerned. In the way that Chelsea are looking to play their football, like I've alluded to before, I just don't see how giving Conor Gallagher the armband is going to benefit. When you've got Thiago Silva, who should be given an armband. If we're talking about technicality within the team and trying to set the team by example, I'd look to Enzo Fernandez. Because you don't really get much error from Enzo Fernandez on the ball with the way that we're trying to play. You don't. He suits the style that we're trying to play with. Connor, not so much. But there are some fans that think he does. Again, that's down to opinion. Personally, I don't think so. But this is where, again, I turn to Poch. And I think, is he being too nice? Is he just trying to just coast things along and go, yeah, no, we're just going to give things out, not a problem. It's just, it is what it is. Like, no, that's not correct. It has to be led by example. In order to be captain, you have to lead by example. So making a big deal out of this, when this player, let's not forget, this player was meant to leave. All of a sudden, here's the armband. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. We've got to bring ourselves back down to ground. I feel like we're overcomplicating on so many different levels. It's crazy. Bring ourselves back down to ground. Let's go back to simple terms. Simple terms. Now, what are those simple terms? That's what I'm going to allude to in the second video later on today on what Chelsea need to do to start winning games. So make sure you guys are going to be there for that. To end, in relation to Connor, like I do want to say, what I alluded to with, I feel like some fans are making the same mistake like they did prior with a Mason Mount, for example, is just, no matter the way he plays, no matter what he actually does, right, he's given the armband, he's one of our own, he's proper Chelsea. Why should he be given the armband? Because he's proper Chelsea. I'm not doing that again. I'm not going down that road again. You get it if you deserve it. You get it if you warrant it. You get it if you've shown enough to be able to wear it. Simple as that. Reece James, definitely on that trajectory. Ben Chilwell, you know what? It just popped into my mind. Poch, I think, is only looking at the players that have probably accumulated the most minutes in their senior career that are in this Chelsea team, because we're just absolutely filled with inexperience now, that the only players that we can realistically turn to, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva, honestly, Raheem Sterling, and next in line, crazily enough, is Conor Gallagher. It is, in terms of senior minutes, experience, what he's done. It's crazy. The rest are all young, unproven, just come in, only played 40 games in their career. I mean, it is what it is. So that's where I honestly have to look to the fans and just put it out there. Let's not make that same mistake again of, we're just going to, prop this guy up because he's come from Cobham. No. What can you offer and what can you do as a whole package? Not just one trait, not just two, as a package. What do you bring to the table? And judge on that. So, let me know your thoughts down below. And as I said, that's all the critique and all of that. Later on, we're going to try and offer some solutions now. What are Chelsea going to do? What do they need to do? What does Poch need to do to get this team back to winning ways? What things do Chelsea need to do to start winning games again? Make sure you're there for that, and then let me know your thoughts. Much appreciated. And in relation to all of that, and to make sure that you are here, you have to subscribe. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you have enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out the socials. And in the meantime, as we get ready for that video later on, pen down your things that you reckon Chelsea need to do, that Poch needs to do to get Chelsea back to winning ways, and then bring it to the video later on where we can have one big massive discussion on the solution. What's the solution? I will let you know later on. Have a good one, people. Make sure you guys are there. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Take care, people. In a bit, and peace.